Let me just say that since I got the recording on. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Lay back, relax, get connected. And so always remember to honor yourself. If you're just, showing up and you need a little peace and quiet this morning, you just need to come to your breath and rest. Honor that. Don't move a muscle. Don't bat an eyelash. Just be with yourself in a loving place. We don't always honor what comes up. We may think of all of these other things that come up, whether they're fears or doubts, whether, and the first thing that's coming to my mind is a fear around lack, like not having enough money and, not fulfilling the dreams in our heart because of that fear or that doubt. And so let's start out this new year with thoughts of abundance in health, abundance in wealth, abundance in love, whatever you want to draw to you. Thinking of the law of attraction. So picturing yourself in this bubble, and whatever thoughts and whatever you're saying and whatever is coming out of your heart, remember it kind of bounces off of that bubble and comes right back to you. So whatever you're putting out there, again, thoughts, words, that's what you'll also be receiving. So let's be impeccable with our thoughts this morning. Thoughts of abundance. I was telling the ladies before we got started, I've got my black-eyed peas on the stove. My parents, when I was growing up, always had that in the New Year's Day meal, but we started doing it first thing in the morning. Like the first thing that you eat is your black-eyed peas, abundance, health and wealth and happiness. Let's draw all those things in. And remember also, a lot of things are really based on your point of view and your perspective. Some things that may seem like they're not a blessing may also be a blessing in disguise. Breathe in and breathe out. My own health challenges over the years have really become an awakening and a healing process that I'm now able to share. A blessing in disguise. As we look at a lot of our challenges can be blessings put in our pathway to wake us up a little bit, to make you come alive, to rise up. Feel the breath rising up into your body, into your chest. A blessing, each breath. As we're starting this new year, yes, it's an opportunity to begin again, as is each day, as is each breath. We don't have to wait for a new day. We don't have to wait for a new year or a new week. This next breath, begin again. We can change our mind. We can change our path. At a drop of a hat, at the beginning of a new breath cycle. And so let's take all of that in and feed our body exhale, removing and releasing what isn't needed. We'll have our doubts and our fears from time to time that float up. And you can go, where'd that come from? That came out of left field. Get out of here. We're thinking this way now. Now let's start to move the breath into the core and into the belly so that we can feed our internal organs. And again, if this is all you practice this morning with me, is just the breath into the chest and into the belly and into the mind. And that's all you need to do. That's all you have to do is breathe. Everything else is optional and a choice. You make a pact with yourself that you'll start every day this way. Bring a hand upon the belly, bring a hand upon the chest, and bring blessings into the physical body and into your heart, into the physical body and into the heart. And again, stay here as long as you like. All is well in my mind and body. All is well in my heart today. And let me start this day and this year with an open mind and an open heart. And we'll start our practice this morning with a strong intention to be present. Strong intention to be present. And so now when you're ready, begin to take some movement if you like. Turning your head from side to side, wiggling your fingers and toes, shifting your heels from side to side. Just mentioning that I felt a little bit of something in my lower back last night. So I'm still feeling a little bit of that this morning. So we're going to work that out. Bend your knees, place your feet wide on the mat. Let's take a few pelvic tilts right here. So you're going to feel the low back lengthening as you're tilting your hips up and the lower belly is contracting here. Check in with your face and your neck and lengthen the neck. And if you place your hands on your low belly, you can feel this shortening here. My belly button is about where my thumbs are, and my fingers are going right down the middle towards my pubic bone. And I can feel that shortening as I contract and lengthen the low back. Whenever you have some low back issues, we want to think about relaxing all of those muscles that tighten up the sacrum and that could be connected inside your hips as well. So relax that when you're ready, and let's just take a gentle swish from side to side and see how that feels. Massaging the low back. And you're going to use a range of motion that feels comfortable. I'm going to start out nice and slow and a minimal amount of range of motion. Just massage that back and forth. And then with the feet wide, let the knees and inner thighs rest together. And as we draw the knees and inner thighs together, the lower back broadens up. So now just take a gentle squeeze of your inner thighs together. And as we squeeze the knees and inner thighs together, the back side of the body opens up a little more. Try to keep that little pelvic tilt. We can get those muscles to release around, away from the nervous system and the bones to create a little relief. So you can also do this from a seated position. You can do it with a block or a pillow in between your knees, just contracting to work the front side a little bit to release the back side. And we're also trying to create balance in the body. And when we feel these things, some disconnect somewhere, sometimes there's some imbalance. One side's working harder than the other. Okay, I'm still squeezing in and out here. So when you're ready, release that. Relax the pelvic floor. Relax the low belly muscles. Relax inner thigh. Deepen the breath and fill up the belly. And then let's go back to our swish swish and see how that feels. See if we got a little relief from side to side. Arms out to the side like the letter T. You can take it over a little bit bigger. And then once you get your legs going over to the right, let that fall over here and just massage back and forth on your right hip. Getting a little stretch through the front of the hip. And then let it go. My cat has become my prop. And as soon as she gets tired of me resting my leg on her, maybe she'll get up and go on about her business. She hasn't growled at me yet, so I think I'm okay. And when you're ready, let's take that over to the other side. Massage back and forth on your hip right there. Just let those legs fall over to your left. Massaging on that hip a little bit from side to side. Let's go back to the center. Crossing your right ankle over your left thigh. Take the swish from side to side from here. So the legs are in that figure 4 position. No biting. Side to side. Let me remind you, Miss Lily, that you are on my yoga mat. Go on. Go on. Holding in the center. Let's lift and lower that left foot off the floor. Bring it in and lower it down. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, release. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, release. And whenever you like, maybe hold that for a breath or two. Hold in behind the thigh or across the shin or at the ankle. Lengthen your neck, checking back in, breathe in and out. Release that and let's switch sides, just crossing the left over the right. And gently swaying from side to side. How does that feel? Little bit of a twist, little bit of a rotation, little bit of a deeper stretch deep inside the hip. So if the sciatic nerve is involved at all, we're helping to open that up. Lubricating all of our joints. Let's hold it to the center and lift and lower the right foot off the floor. Exhale to bring it in, checking in with the neck and the face. And lower. Hold it when you like. Hold in behind the thigh or across the shin if that feels okay with your knee. Lengthen your neck. Never forcing, always honoring. All right, release that and let's stretch it all the way out. Lengthening the arms over the crown of the head. Rocking those heels from side to side, massaging that lower back. Bring the arms over to the right and the legs over to the right. Taking a big lateral stretch. Press that left ankle over the right. Reach over and grab your left wrist with your right hand and take that stretch there. And then let's slide the left foot up so that it's on the outside of your right knee. And then just wag that a little bit in and out like you're opening a door. How does that feel in your hip and your IT band all the way across? You can even take your right hand, bring it to the outside of your left thigh, and draw it in just a little bit. It feels good to me. How about you? All right, slide that down. Now let's take it over to the other side, moving over to the left. You can do this in layers. So if you feel fine just staying right here without crossing the right ankle over, then just keep the feet next to each other. Hold that stretch. Slide the right leg up to the outside or the inside of your left leg. Breathe here. I'm going to take my left hand and reach it around to the outside and just draw it in and out. Gentle massaging. Release it. Come back to the center. Let's draw both knees into the belly. Wrapping our arms around the shins or the backs of the thighs. Exhale, draw your forehead up to meet your knees. Inhale, lower it down. Do that a couple more times. Exhale, bring it up, engaging your core muscles, pulling your belly button in. And release. One more. And now let's do the opposite. Hold on to your knees. Exhale, pull the knees in. Inhale, push the knees away. Exhale. Encouraging circulation to the feet and from the legs all the way back up to the heart. Let your breath guide you here. And some gentle full circles. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Big circles. Big circles. One more big hug. Go back to your intentional thought. And let's roll over to our left side. We're going to find our way into a child's pose. You can push yourself up and bring yourself around into child's pose, or just roll over and find your way into child's pose, whichever way you'd like to face on your mat. Let's stretch those fingertips forward and melt that forehead. Breathe in and out. The profound bow. Try to let those hips sink. If you need to, you could put a rolled up towel underneath the ankles, especially if your feet have a tendency to cramp up a little bit in this position. Inhale and exhale. Let your body have permission to just feel this morning. Remembering we're not here to accomplish anything. We're just here to feel and be present. Yoga is the opportunity to be curious about who you are. As you come forward, let's come into an all fours position. The hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Find your core again. Do some contractions through the belly by drawing the belly button in. Notice as you draw the belly button in, the low back gets a little bit longer. Now really let it out, like just let it hang out. Like I know we're always taught, hold your belly in, hold your belly in. But feel what it feels like when you completely release it and then draw it back up and in and feel what that feels like. Now, if we can keep it secured and draw it in through the core while we continue to breathe in and out, what does that feel like? Keeping the belly button pulled in while we still breathe in and out. Come from side to side, massaging hips, massaging low back, massaging shoulders. To me, this even feels good across my knees, but if you need to, you could put a towel under your knees or fold up your yoga mat a little bit for extra cushion. My mat is super thick, so this feels good. Coming back to the center for cat and cow. Exhale, draw chin to chest, curl that tailbone under, pull that belly button in. That feels amazing. Inhale, extend the crown of the head to the sky and take the tailbone up. Draw your chest through your arms, really opening the front of the body. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, coming back into neutral. Let's step the right foot in between your hands. Let's do some flossing for the hips, flossing for the legs. This is good for the fascia in the body that holds us all together. Just rocking back and forth. And as you come back, really try to draw that tailbone back, pulling the belly button in. You could have your hands on some blocks here if you need to. Rocking back and forth. flexing and pointing through your forward foot. So really draw that toe back, stretching through the back of the leg. Now hold your forward position and take your right hand onto your right knee. And let's just rock it in and out. Rolling out to the outside edge of the foot and back. Noticing how that feels in your hip, across your foot, across your ankle. Come back to the center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to the small of the back. Inhale to just lift your heart. Taking a bigger back bend if you like here. Inhale, rise the arms back up to the sky. Lower the hands to the earth. And let's press back into a half split and hold here. I'm just letting my hips hover right over that back left knee and on the right side so that, remember, we're staying in our tracks. Breathe in and out if you like. Bow your head. See how that feels. Right knee slightly bent. Coming back to the center, let's step back into our child's pose, stepping the right foot back, stretching the arms forward, dropping the hips back. And again, breathing, connecting, feeling. Exhale. Coming back forward into that all fours position. Let's take another round or two of cat and cow. Exhale, curl and round. Draw that tailbone under. Inhale, extend and lift. I'm going to do one more. Exhale. Inhale. Coming back forward. Step your left foot through. And begin that flossing movement. Forward and back. Good through the front of the hip. Good for the back of the hip. Getting everything lubricated and warmed up. All is well in my mind and body today. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. Holding this forward position, take your hand and open and close through the hip. Massaging the foot. Coming back to the center, walk the hands up. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to the small of the back. Open up and breathe. Inhale. Exhale the hands down and press back into that half split. Draw those toes back, and if it feels all right, lower the forehead. Coming forward when you're ready, just enough to step that left foot back to meet the right, and finding our child's pose. Stretch the fingertips out here, stretching wide and then drawing the thumb into the palm of your hand. Curl your fingers around your thumb and give your thumb a squeeze. Spread those fingers wide. Coming back forward into that all fours position. Let's thread through the upper body, inhaling the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through and under. Inhale, back up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale. Bring it all the way through, bringing your right ear to the mat, looking to the left. Left hand can be under or behind the back into the right hip pocket. Sink into it, relax your wrists here and your fingers. And let everything melt just a bit. Reground the left hand and take the right arm back up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, switching sides. Inhale the left arm up high. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale back up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. One more time, back up to the sky. Thread it through, bringing your left ear to the mat, looking to the right. Relax the fingers. Maybe that right hand goes back behind the back into the left hip pocket. A little bit of a bind if you can bring it through and grab your thigh. Find in a good spot. Reground the right hand back down to the earth. Inhale, lift that arm back up to the sky. And as you come back into all fours, let's take a round of cat and cow here. Moving into some spinal balance. So as we get into neutral, extend the right hand forward and the left heel back. Do a little stretch through the calf. Pull the belly button in and then bring your limbs to parallel, looking down towards your left thumb. Breathe in and out. Switch sides whenever you're ready. So let's find the neutral place. Stretch the heel back. Bring the limbs to parallel. So we're getting both sides activated. And then we're going to add a little flow. Come back to all fours and switch sides. Inhaling, stretching all the way out. Then on your exhale, let's draw the right elbow to the left knee. And we'll do that 2 more times on this side. Engage in those core muscles. Stretch it all the way out after the third one, and then we're going to bring the right arm to the right and the left leg to the left. Bring it back to the center, and then reach your right hand back for the low back or hip, and press that left heel up to the sky. So you're flexing from the knee. And another option, if it's in your body, is to reach back and around and see if you can grab your left foot with your hand. If not, just flex, bring the hand back behind the back, moving it in that direction. Stretch it back out, and then let's switch sides. Left arm and right leg extending. Bring it across 3 times, across the midline of the body. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Now that left arm will go to the left. The right leg will go out to the side. Back to the center. Left hand behind the back. Right foot up to the sky, flexing from the knee, or reaching back around and grabbing the foot if you can, opening it up, releasing it, stretch back out, come back to neutral, and let's do a few cat and cows here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I'd like to try that one more time. So when you're ready, go back to spinal balance, right arm and left foot. Inhale. 3 times across the midline. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Keeping the limbs parallel. Move them out to their respective sides. Bring it back. Reach around. Can you grab? Can you open? Bring it back and switch sides. Take your time. So if I'm going too fast, you just move at your own pace. Reach it out 3 times across. Limbs out to the side 1 time. And then lift. Now, as we release, press back into your child's pose. Let your hands relax. Let your wrists relax. Shoulders, belly, low back. Letting everything go. We're going to start to move our way to our feet. So you can come from your child's pose and get to your feet, or you can find downward facing dog if that feels okay. Bending your knees right and left in your downward facing dog. And then floating those feet up to your hands. Everyone coming into a forward fold with the knees slightly bent. Melting your belly onto your thighs. Shake your head out, yes and no. Rock your hips from side to side. Bend and straighten. Get a little deeper. Pull that belly button in. As you pull the belly button in, slowly come up, rounding your spine all the way up and all the way up to the top. Roll your shoulders back and around, up and down and back and around. Inhale your arms all the way up to the sky. Knuckles on the small of the back. Take a nice standing camel pose here. Inhale, stretch up to the sky, reach over, grab your wrist, pull it over to the side, and if you like, cross the ankle over, your right ankle over your left. Inhale back to the center. Take it over to the other side with an exhale. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment to balance here. Eyes straight ahead. Breathing in and out. Finding your feet. Moving into tree pose. So let your right foot be your stabilizing foot. I'll let your left foot be your grounding big toe for a kickstand position. Hands can be at your heart or at your hips. Gazing straight ahead. Maybe you can lift those left toes off the floor. I'm getting distracted by my hair tickling my face. Notice your own distractions. And if that pulls you out of balance, then always move that foot up a little higher, above or below your knee. Open up that leg a little bit like you're opening up a door. Inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Keep them at your hips, keep them at your heart. And release when you're ready. Bring your hands to your hips and let's draw some circles. Both directions. Sliding the hands down the thighs. Let's bring the hands to the knees and do some circles here. Circling all the way down to the ankles. And And go ahead and take your forward fold. Let yourself dangle once again. Bending your knees right and left. Letting whatever you're holding on to just drape off the back. Pull your belly button in and let's slowly round it up. Coming all the way to the top, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. Exhale, take that standing camel with the knuckles on the small of the back, or cactus arms if you like. Inhale, rise, reach over, grab that right wrist, pull it over to the left, cross that ankle over if you like. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the other side. Yum, really reach. Inhale back to the center. Hands back to the heart. Let's get grounded again. One more tree pose. Grounding through the left foot this time. Using your right toe as a kickstand. You want to center those eyes. Center your breath. And the mind and the body will follow. Keep all your joints stacked on top of each other. If you'd like to challenge it, let the arms slowly rise over the crown of the head. Try to minimize your blink. Maybe even try to close your eyes for a moment. Slowly releasing when you're ready. And once again, hands on the hips. Draw some circles. Maybe a little bigger. Maybe you take it back into a back bend a little more. Maybe you go a little more forward. Coming back to the center, let's place those hands down on the knees one more time. Draw some circles here. Working on mobility. Let yourself flow all the way down. Relax. It's like water right off a duck. You're letting everything just float right off the back. Bringing your hands to your shins, halfway lift, extend the spine, pull the belly button in, look to the tip of the nose. Exhale, let it go. Let's take a twist here. We're going to straighten our right leg, bend our left leg. Your left hand can be in front of your left foot or in front of your right foot, or your forearm can rest on your left side. Bring that right arm up to the sky, or binding it back behind the back into the left hip pocket. Exhale, forward fold. Switching sides. Straightening the left, bending the right, choosing the right hand position, bringing the left arm up to the sky, opening it up. The goal is not necessarily the floor. The goal is how you feel. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Let's come all the way back down to the floor, coming back into child's pose. Exhale, sink. I'm going to take some low flow right here, working on stability of the core and strength of the upper body. As you feel ready from here, let's inhale forward into modified or full plank. Engage those core muscles, pull the belly button in. Exhale, lower down, hug those elbows tight. Inhale, cobra pose. Gently lift, firm the thighs, squeeze the buttocks. Exhale, come down, curl your toes under, press back into child's pose or downward facing dog. Bend those knees right and left if you're in your down dog. Breathe in and out. 2 more breaths, and then we'll take our flow again. If you're in your child's pose, we'll shift forward into modified plank. If you're in downward facing dog, lower to your knees and shift forward into modified plank or full plank if you like. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, broaden through your upper back. Exhale to lower. Try to get your chest to touch first. Inhale, engage in the lower body. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. If you're in your downward facing dog, let's bend the knees right and left. Pull the belly button in. Melt those heels down and let's take our flow again. Inhaling forward into your modified or full plank. Exhale, lower. Now this time from your cobra pose, let's come up into Sphinx pose. Resting the forearms on the floor, your elbows right underneath your shoulders or a little farther forward if that's too much for your low back. And now you can decide here in Sphinx pose if you want to tighten and contract your buttocks or relax it, depending on how your low back feels. Breathe in and out. Press into your palms and lift your forearms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. See how that feels as you move up into seal pose. If that's too much, stay down on the forearms, or you can do it intermittently, lifting up and lowering. This is a great exercise for our triceps, the backs of the arms. Just doing a couple lifts and lowers. Exhale. And then hold. When you're ready, come on down. Let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Press back into child's pose or downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Lowering to your knees, let's come into side plank. So the body is going to shift forward a little bit. Your right hand underneath your shoulder, your right foot turns out to the side. We begin to stack the left side of the body over the right. Extend that left arm up to the sky and then over the crown of the head. And then if you like, lift that left leg parallel. And then let's draw that left elbow to the left knee. Exhale and extend 2 more times. Stretch it all the way out. Return back to your all fours position. Take a cat and cow here before we do the other side. Exhale. Inhale. Coming back to center, ground through your left hand. It comes right underneath the shoulder. Pivot that left foot out to the side. Stack the right side of the body over the left. Reach the right arm up to the sky, over the crown of the head, and then lift that right leg. Now that's an option. You could keep the toes down and just hold and pause here. 3 repetitions. Draw that elbow to the knee. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. And one more time. Exhale and inhale. Return back to all fours. press back into child's pose, or all the way into dead bug pose with the arms along the sides of the body, the knuckles down, the palms up, letting yourself rest. Taking your time from here, let's find our way to our buttocks. So I'm going to come up nice and slow, find my way to my seat. Breathe in and out. Taking a few Navasana boat poses here. Keep the head and the crown lifted. Exhale to come back. Inhale to come up, watching your tailbone. You can choose to use the hands or not use the hands. You can choose to alternate lifting a leg. Use your breath. And now wherever you are, wherever you're working, maybe we hold and pause for 3 breaths or for 5 breaths, or wherever you're feeling a challenge. It comes from the challenge, not in what we're able to do. My challenge right now is my nose is itching. Breathe. And then when you're ready, lift the knees, pull them back in. Let's extend those legs out in front. Inhale, stretch the arms up over the head. Exhale, reach for the soles of the feet. Exhale, let it go. Let's let that back have a break. Couple more breaths. Inhale, stretch up to the sky. Reach the hands back behind the back. Your hips can stay down, or you can lift up into reverse plank or reverse tabletop. Lowering down nice and slow. Let's extend the left leg and draw the right foot into the left inner thigh. Inhale, stretch up to the sky. Exhale, reach out long. Now, while we're extending over the left leg, draw the right knee open. And another option, take your right hand and reach it around the outside of your left foot to draw the right shoulder forward, so that maybe ultimately you could place the side of your face on your knee. So we're just moving in that direction to twist across. Left hand can come back behind the back if it likes. And just keep breathing here. Couple more breaths. It's like you're drawing your blouse out of your hip pocket on the right side of your body, trying to stretch through that hip. Now come up nice and slow. And we're going to continue that twist by just bringing the left foot in. Now it can be in front of the ankle, the shin, the knee, or on the other side. And then just keep that twist going around here to your left, drawing that left thigh in while your left arm reaches back behind. And see if you can look over that shoulder a little bit more. That feels amazing. As you come back to the center, let's switch the legs. So the right leg is extended and the left foot is into the right inner thigh. Inhale, stretch up to the sky. Exhale, reach out long. So you may start with a bent knee with some space. And then as we pause into it, maybe that leg can lengthen. Draw open through that left leg. Left hand comes around to the outside of your right foot. We're drawing your chest and your body over the midline of your right leg, maybe ultimately bringing that left side of your cheek to your thigh or knee. And again, try to reach out of that back hip pocket like you're pulling your shirt out of your hips to let it just blouse out over your pants. Reach that other hand behind your back and breathe. And we come up nice and slow. And let's set our twist up on this side, bringing the right foot in. Choose where you'd like it to rest. Hug that right leg in. Bring that arm back behind the back, gazing over the right shoulder. Beautiful. Untangle. And let's slowly lower it down to the floor, drawing your knees into your belly. Gently rocking from side to side. Lowering your feet, hip distance apart, arms stretching towards your heels, lengthen your neck, press into your feet and lift those hips up. Breathe in, breathe out. Big stretch through the front of the body. One more stretch through the back of the neck. Slowly lowering it down and releasing all the way down. Soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Teeter totter the hips here from side to side. Arms maybe out to the side or over the head or back behind the head. I like to call this dreamer's pose. Imagine yourself just swaying back and forth, perhaps in a hammock, watching the clouds float by. And just know that when the body finds stillness and we're moving ourselves out of fight or flight and stress mode, we're more creative. We can come up with solutions when we move out of worry. In this dreamer's pose, let yourself dream freely. Stay here as long as you like, and then you can move into full Shavasana pose whenever you're ready, and whatever that looks like on your back, on your side, on your belly, with your legs extended, up on the wall, up on your bed, your sofa, or knees bent with knees and inner thighs together, especially if your lower back is a little tender and it doesn't like it when your legs are straight out. And as you're resting, I'd like to read to you from the Book of Awakening. I can maneuver around my silly cat. Will you be my book rest, Lily? This book has seen a lot of years and a lot of love. And for today, January 1st, the title is Precious Human Birth. Of all the things that exist, we breathe and wake and turn it into song. There is a Buddhist precept that asks us to be mindful of how rare it is to find ourselves in human form on earth. It is really a beautiful view of life that offers us the chance to feel enormous appreciation for the fact that we are here as individual spirits filled with consciousness, drinking water and chopping wood. It asks us to look about at the ant and antelope, at the worm and the butterfly, at the dog and the castrated bull, at the hawk and the wild, lonely tiger, at the 100-year-old oak and the 1,000-year-old patch of ocean. It asks us to understand that no other life form has the consciousness of being that we are privileged to. It asks us to recognize that of all the endless species of plants and animals and minerals that make up the earth, a very small portion of life has the wakefulness of spirit that we call being human. That I can rise from some depth of awareness to express this to you, and that you can receive me in this instant is part of our precious human birth. You could have been an ant. I could have been an anteater. You could have been rain. I could have been a lick of salt. But we are blessed in this time, in this place, to be human beings, alive in rare ways we often take for granted. All of this to say, this precious human birth is unrepeatable. So what will you do with today, knowing that you are one of the rarest forms of life to ever walk the earth? How will you carry yourself? What will you do with your hands? What will you ask, and of whom? Tomorrow you could die and become an ant, and someone will be setting traps for you. But today you are precious and rare and awake. It ushers us into grateful living. It makes hesitation useless. Grateful and awake. Ask what you need to know now. Say what you feel now. Love what you love now. And today, if you can, sit outside if possible or near a window and note the other forms of life around you. Breathe slowly and think of the ant and the blade of grass and the blue jay and what these life forms can do that you can't. Think of the pebble and the piece of bark and the stone bench, and center your breathing on the interior things that you can do that they can't. Rise slowly, feeling beautifully human, and enter your day with the conscious intent of doing one thing that only humans can do. And when the time arises, do this one thing with great reverence and gratitude. As you soak all that in, please allow yourself to stay where you are as long as you like. When you're ready, move yourself to seated position. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring to mind a dream that's upon your heart. I remember once when really pondering what my purpose is in this life, that what I came upon is, and this conversation that I had with God was, if the only thing you would have me do is be a wonderful mother and an example to my 4 children, then I'm there. I've got this. And being blessed with those 4 human beings, and whatever and whoever they create in their life. Everything else is good. Like our breath, everything else is optional and a choice. Bring your hands to your heart center, taking a moment for blessings and gratitude here. Grateful for this day, grateful for this breath, and grateful for this opportunity to share with you. The light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.